What's going on YouTube? So Lexus was one of the first brands to venture into luxury crossovers, and now they have one in pretty much every shape and size you could desire. Now, since it was first introduced in 2015, this Lexus NX has been one of the most popular options in the compact CUV segment. And for the 2021 model year, it is gaining more standard features and a few updates. This is likely the last model year of this generation, so let's go ahead and see if this is still a good choice. So when this NX first came out, it made quite a splash with a very bold exterior design. And with a few updates, it's pretty much the same as it was when it was first introduced and continues to grab a lot of attention everywhere you go. So up in the front, especially with this F-Sport model, you have a very aggressive look. F-Sport is going to add the smoked chrome around the spindle grille, which is much larger than what you have in the regular model, and also has a special black mesh finish. Down in your lower fascia, that's also going to be revised for F-Sport duty. And then coming on up here to your headlights next. These are fully LED across all of the models. You have the separated arrowhead daytime running light and turn signal indicator, both of which are LED. And then down below, you also find standard LED fog lights across every single version of the NX. Next up, we have the wheels. Which of course are upgraded for the F-Sport model. We have the 18-inch contrast alloy finish, and you do have other 18 and 17-inch options if you don't choose the F-Sport model. Now moving up, we have our F-Sport branding. We have our typical two-tone mirror finish for the Lexus models. However, this has really gotten a big upgrade for 2021. Lexus is giving you every single feature of standard equipment now. So you have standard power fold, standard auto dimming, standard heating, and standard blind spot monitoring.
Now, the NX has always been a very stylish offering within this segment of vehicle, and that continues for 2021, especially in this F-Sport configuration. Now, breaking down the individual design elements that you're going to get on this model. As you can tell, we do still have the same 3D LED taillights. These are actually full LED. The brake light, reverse light, and turn signal are all LED, which really makes for a premium look. And then dropping down to the diffuser, all of them are going to get the trapezoidal exposed exhaust outlets. However, only the F-Sport is going to get this silver accent right here. Now, the NX has always done really good in the area of safety systems. That's also going to continue for 2021 since it's going to have Lexus Safety System Plus 2.0 standard on all of the models. Now, that's particularly worth noting because a lot of the German rivals will make you option on expensive packages to get those features. And that's going to be forward emergency braking with pedestrian detection, auto high beam headlamps, lane keeping assist, and adaptive cruise control. Well guys, if you haven't subscribed to the channel by now, hit that subscribe button down below. It really helps us out and it's completely free. But now let's go ahead and check out the inside of this NX before we take it out in a spin.
So walking up to the Lexus NX, of course you will have the Lexus Smart Entry system, as well as the brand's typical key fob. And to get inside, just grab behind the handle since there is a sensor, and your mirrors will electrically fold out. Alright, and taking a look inside of the cabin, you will continue to find the same design as last year, but this design has always been very stylish, and that does continue. Now with the NX, Lexus does give you a ton of different ways to equip this cabin, but I'll focus on the F-Sport since that's what we have today. So as far as this, we have the new Luxe faux leather seating, and that comes in this black, which you see here, or a really intense circuit red, which I think is quite cool. Now turning to the door trim, you will find nice materials up here. So we have a leather padding across the armrest with the color contrast stitching. This is all going to be soft touch, again with color contrast stitching, and we have a faux aluminum. As far as your windows, it's going to be one touch auto up and down for all four. And right here is where you'll find your 3-person memory seating included in the premium package. As far as the seats are concerned, these are 10-way power adjusting with 2-way lumbar. Then, like I was already mentioning, we have the new Lux faux leather seating that is very, very realistic in that typical Lexus fashion. I really love these seats. They're tremendously comfortable, and with the F Sport we have nice thick bolsters as well. Alright, so let's go ahead and take a look around the cabin materials. So across our upper dash, this is going to be finished in a soft touch plastic with a stitching detail. Below that we have some more of that faux aluminum, and then all of this middle area is going to be covered in a large leatherette padding with a double stitching detail. As we move down lower, we have more leatherette that covers all this console area for your knee to rest against. And of course, this is a Lexus after all, so you can expect that the build quality is going to be impeccable. Now start up the NX, just put your foot on the brake and press the button. So as far as the gauge cluster, you'll probably notice there's a little bit unique about the F Sport, and that's the fact that we have the special color scheme of white around the outside edges. It does not have the cool sliding display like some of the other F Sport models in the Lexus lineup though. As far as the display, that's 4.5 inches and of course contains all the typical information. Now heading back to the steering wheel, it is electric power assisted steering with a nice leather wrap steering wheel. One small update for 2021 is the fact that we have a new design here on the airbag cover. And as far as the F Sport, you do have specific branding as well as this perforation on the side. We actually have a power adjusting steering wheel on this model since we have the premium package, and we also have steering wheel heating. Okay, so now let's go ahead and check the interior storage out. I'm going to start underneath this center console here. Lift this up, you'll notice we have a small removable tray. Pull that out of the way. And once you do that, you'll see quite a bit of space. This is very large for this category of vehicle. It does have a nice felt lining on all the sides as well. And when we get these coupons out, it's going to swallow these up, no problem whatsoever. Now there's not a ton of additional storage beyond that, so you just have your cup holders here. You also have a little bit of storage underneath of this little pad here, and this is also a mirror, so that's a very unique NX thing that no other automaker has come up with yet. And coming up to the shifter, we do have the special satin finish and perforated leather with the F Sport. Of course, you can just pull back for drive and you can bump to the left if you want to shift manually here, or you can use the standard paddle shifters. Heading into reverse, on this specific example, we just have the basic backup camera. As you can see, it does come with guidelines. However, you can option on a 360-degree camera system if you want. And when in reverse, the mirrors do tilt down to help you see the parking lines better. You also have an automatic deploying electronic parking brake as well as a brake hold function. I'm going to move next to the audio system. So what's standard on the NX is going to be an 8-speaker sound system, but you do have the option of upgrading to a 14-speaker Mark Levinson sound system if you prefer. What we have on this example is the base sound system. Let's go ahead and give it a sample. So overall sound quality is definitely satisfactory for the basic sound system, but if you're a big audiophile, definitely upgrade to that Mark Levinson. I do also want to point out we have a CD player that's increasingly becoming rare in any segment of car. Okay, so we have the stylized center console and it rises up to our climate controls. So this is a dual zone automatic climate control setup. You have these nice middle toggles to adjust your temperature and fan speeds up here. You We also have physical controls for the other functions as well. Next to that, we have 3-stage heated and 3-stage ventilated seats. That's included as part of the premium package. Okay, so now that brings us up here to our display. So this, of course, is the Lexus Inform system, and it is running the latest software. Now, unlike some of the newest Lexus products, this is not a touch display, so you will have to use the remote touch controller. However, I do want to point out one 2021 update, and that is the fact that Lexus has now added Android Auto. As far as the displays themselves, you can option on integrated navigation and a larger 10.1-inch display. Now moving on up, we have the standard auto-dimming mirror with HomeLink universal remotes and the compass. And then up at the very top here, you will find we will find a sunroof. So this is a standard size unit. It does come as part of the premium package, and as you can see, it does open up.
Alrighty, so here I am in the NX's rear seat, and this of course is a pretty important part of this vehicle because I say a lot of NX owners do have families that they haul around. Now, as far as the legroom figures, it's going to come in at 36 inches of rear legroom, which does place it a little bit behind the Audi Q5 as well as the Infiniti QX50, but I don't really think it's a problematic amount of space because behind rear seating position I have, I would say, 6 inches of rear legroom and my feet can slide up underneath the seat. Now, as far as the features are concerned in the NX, you're going to have just vents, and that's going to be it. I would like to see USB ports, and heated rear seats are not going to be offered on the NX, but if we fold down the center armrest, we do have 2 cup holders inside. Now walking up to the tailgate, a power hands-free one is going to be optional on most NX trim levels, including this F Sport, but we do have that, so in order to open, just kick your foot under the bumper. And it does open right up. Now once inside the cargo area of the NX, you're going to find 18 cubic feet behind the second row seats, and if you fold it, it goes to a maximum of 55 cubic feet. That does once again place it a little bit less than the Acura RDX as well as the Audi Q5, but it's still a pretty decent amount of space. And as far as how Lexus has finished it, we have a really nice carpeting along the floor. If we lift it up, we do have a spare tire. There's also a cargo cover up top, and the seats do fold as you would expect, 60-40 split. Now here at your passenger seat, you do have power adjustment on the NX, and then opening up the glove box in front, wow, this is a massive glove box. So, you know, I got the tingles in here. This is really great for the coupons. I have to say A+ for Lexus on that. I mean, this is a massive glove box. It's also felt lined and illuminated. And then up top, we have a sun visor with a mirror and light. And we can also detach it, and it has an extension in the end.
So that's first taken off with this 2021 NX. So we've got the same engine on board as last year. So we have a 2-liter turbocharged 4-cylinder engine. It's going to be making 235 horsepower, 258 pound-feet of torque. Power feels pretty good when you first take off. I mean, this is not going to be the fastest among rivals, so if you're looking at something that, like the German competition, those are generally going to be faster.
Yeah.
You know, but this is more than adequate, and of course it probably gets better fuel economy as well.
Now, of course, there is also the hybrid offering for the NX, and, you know, quite frankly, just based on what I see driving around, I say a large percentage of them are the hybrid, and that, you know, of course, is offered, whereas a lot of the German competition doesn't have a very good hybrid offering.
Comment on the engine sound with the S-Sport model there, kind of pumping in a bit of a synthetic sound, which I appreciate because a turbo 4-cylinder usually is not the best sounding engine, but I do like it. Has like kind of a depth to it. Sounds kind of like a 6-cylinder, I guess. also want to go ahead and talk about the transmission. So with the NX, we have a 6-speed automatic transmission. That of course is going to be down a couple gears from probably most of the competition. However, this is a good transmission. As you can see, nice and responsive, and super smooth in that typical Lexus way.
Now that we're up to speed here, I will get a sound level reading. And we're sitting at 55.2 decibels before we started slowing down here. That's a very good reading. That's on par with what the Germans have to offer. And I do also want to talk about the ride quality. Even though this is an F-Sport, you can't, it's definitely on the softer side of things. This is a very comfort and luxury focused vehicle, so when you hit bumps, it definitely soaks them up well, even in the F-Sport.
That's right. At the end of the day, this is still going to be a Lexus, so it's a quiet and serene environment.
Now we'll go ahead and do the airball and slam dunk. We'll leave the slam dunk for later, but we'll go ahead and talk about the airball, and we're going to say today it's going to be this touchscreen in particular, or the fact that it's not a touchscreen, and just kind of overall some of the technology within this cabin. This car was redesigned in 2015, and it is starting to kind of show its age a little bit over some of the competition, like the Audi Q5 with its virtual cockpit.
Now, if you're wondering about how sporty things are behind the wheel, it's really quite nice. Like we said, it's not going to be hard edge or anything like that, but going around that corner, it really handles it nicely. Corner is nice and flat. I also think the steering feels like a good balance between comfort and sport as well, so it has a little bit of heft, but it's nice and quick as well.
And let's go ahead and talk about the fuel economy. Now, like I mentioned, there is, of course, a hybrid offering for this vehicle, so if you're really interested in fuel economy, go for that. But this one, as equipped with the 2-liter all-wheel drive, is coming in at 24 miles a gallon combined, and if you get front-wheel drive, it's going to be 25 miles per gallon combined. Now, of course, we left the slam dunk until now because we think that that's going to be the overall pricing and value of this vehicle. This is significantly cheaper than the German offerings in the segment. So the NX300 is going to start at $37,510, the F-Sport $39,610, and the luxury model $43,960. This one with the 1,025 destination charge rings in at $46,325 with a few options on it.
So all in all, the NX continues to occupy a good space in the compact luxury crossover segment. It does have excellent value, and of course really a huge emphasis on styling when a lot of the competition are pretty sedate, that's for sure.
Well guys, that's all for this in-depth review of the 2021 Lexus NX 300 F Sport. I hope you enjoyed watching, and if you did, be sure to help us out by hitting that subscribe button down below and joining this Car Confections family. We're going to post a lot more reviews in 2021, so be sure to subscribe to stay posted on those. Anyway, we'll catch you next time as we sample more of the latest automotive delicacies.